have you here with us with another episode of Celebrity Catwalk. Today's show is chock full of incredible eco and animal-friendly finds and fashion. But come on, we've got to start things off with 3 words: chocolate. That's it. Do I have to say anything else? Gabrielle Bricker wears a lot of hats, a certified life coach and a certified nutritionist. However, we are loving the fact that her The One fudge chocolate bar is the very first raw chocolate bar to grace the shelves of Whole Foods in 2007. Thank you, Gabrielle.
Thank you.
We are going to come back to this, Gabrielle, but first things first, what is a holistic health and eco-conscious business coach?
Basically, it is, it's 2 things that I do, 2 types of businesses. Holistic health coach, I help people regain their health. So people who have chronic pain, are dealing with severe issues. People who have seen specialists for 10 years and are like, I'm going to be suffering with this for the rest of my life, typically come to me, and I help them through nutrition. And a very specific nutrition. It's a combination of raw, but also, you know, I've studied a bit of Ayurveda and Chinese medicine, so I bring a little bit of that in.
Wow.
And then we also touch on a really big piece, which is the emotional attachment to food.
That's big.
Yeah, so I, in essence, take food off your plate and help you kind of take a look at where you're really dealing with your attachments to food, and from there, that's where the big shifts change. So then there's the eco-conscious business coach, which is I help people produce their own products, but they have to be green, they have to be sustainably processed and put together, and ethically, like an ethical business mindset, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned an attachment to food. When you eliminated food, certain types of food, how did that get rid of your health problems?
Good question. For everybody, it's different, okay? Because we all have our own bio-individual needs. And I think the biggest issues that people face is beyond what they choose to put in their mouth is their attachment to it. So why I think people struggle with diets is because they are so attached to the food they're eating emotionally, right? And they're not willing to let it go. And that's really where they suffer. And when we change the food that we're eating, we change our perspective.
Right.
It really shifts our mental landscape. You know, when we clean our body, we clean our mind.
So there's actually a physical change. You can see yourself changing when you cut out, let's say, sugar.
Absolutely.
What kind of changes take place?
Oh my gosh. I mean, people immediately lose weight. People have anxiety leave them. You know, addictive patterns completely shift just from foods like sugar or, you know, eating bread
Sugar's
constantly.
a big one.
Yeah.
I love your saying about in life that there are no rules, only choices. Yeah. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, you know, I don't like rules.
Break them.
Okay. So, but really, my philosophy is we're any prison that we are in, we put ourselves there, right? We always have a choice, always, and it might be a challenging one, it might be a difficult one, but we always have a choice. We're never stuck where we are. We can always make a different choice, a new choice, and an empowering choice to take us into a place where we're happier, healthier, living a life that we really want to be living.
Wow, great advice.
Thanks.
Now can we get to chocolate?
Yes.
So tell me about your raw chocolate bar. Give us a skinny on that. What's it made of? How did you get involved with it?
Well, the One chocolate bar was developed a long time ago. Actually, the name came up with my boyfriend at the time driving in his truck, and I was like, oh my God, we're going to call it The One. One life, one love, you know, yeah.
So easy, duh.
Everybody wants that one chocolate bar, you know? But so the One fudge, here, I brought you some today.
Ooh, a treat for me. Wow. Yes.
Yeah. So it's completely raw chocolate, and the difference between raw chocolate and regular chocolate is that the beans have not been processed. So the antioxidant level is like through the roof. It's chocolate is the #1 food source for magnesium, which is a mineral that most Americans are deficient in. It's just a really, really powerful food. It also helps you release the bliss chemical, anandamide.
Ooh,
yes.
makes me happy. Love it.
And magnesium is the #1 mineral for the heart. So for me, I feel like it all ties in together. That feeling of love, that feeling of happiness that we get with chocolate.
Yes. I would love to take a chocolate break. Maybe I should keep on with the interview. This is really great. Thank you so much for bringing this here for me. I have one more question. What's the difference between your The One fudge chocolate bar and a regular chocolate bar? Let's say a Butterfinger or Snickers or Babe Ruth. What's the difference?
A big difference. Really big difference. So as I was saying, it's a raw chocolate, so it hasn't been adulterated in any way. On top of that, I use a coconut sugar, which is low glycemic. And it's also made with superfoods. So this chocolate bar is, you know, not necessarily the kind of chocolate bar that you're just going to devour. You're actually going to feel nourished. You're actually going to receive nutrients. It's a really powerful snack.
And you savor it. You can taste the difference in it.
And you'll feel a difference when you're, you know, you feel alive. It stimulates neurotransmitter activity in the brain, so you feel focused. It's the best thing to have, like if you need to study for something or if you're working on a project.
Yes, chocolate break. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Last question. Tell me how your partnership with Whole Foods came about.
Oh gosh, you know, I was actually working for Whole Foods and had been doing this on the side, creating it on the side, and we had a team meeting, and I remembered the person who gave the meeting, and I just, you know, I took a chance. I emailed him and I was like, I don't know if you remember me. I was the really enthusiastic girl who was like, yes, yes, you know, because I really loved what he was saying. I loved the psychology of his speech patterns. It was just, he was very positive, and I said, you know, I've developed a raw chocolate bar, and would you be interested, or how can I do this that it's not a conflict of interest, and you know, what's possible? And he wrote me back, he's like, I do remember you, let's have a meeting, and that's how it started.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So would I be able to look for it in a caramel flavor, chocolate chip flavor, pecan?
Actually, this chocolate bar is the one chocolate bar.
That's right, the one. Good answer. I love it. Thank you so much, Gabrielle, for coming.
Thank you.
To learn more about Gabrielle and all the coaching and lifestyle programs she offers, head over to GabrielleBrick.com. Victoria Moran has been a Main Street vegan for 31 years and is an obesity survivor, maintaining a 60-plus pound weight loss for all this time. She's a best-selling author of 12 books and has appeared twice on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Thank you for stopping by, Victoria.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So tell me, was there an aha moment that led you to change your life and your diet?
No, it was really gradual. I think the first aha was when I was 5 years old and came home from school with the 4 food groups, recited them from my grandmother, and she said, oh, there are some people who are called vegetarians. They never eat any meat. And even that early, I thought, you know, maybe there's something there. But over time, as I got into yoga and started to learn more of what was going on with the animals, I knew that was the direction I had to take.
So you knew, since the days of the food pyramid, you knew.
Yeah, I kind of predated the food pyramid.
Oh,
you know, it was a little hard for me because I was a practicing binge eater. You don't get to be 60 pounds overweight without really having a relationship with food. So I needed to heal on the inside and come to have a choice about what I was eating. And once I had that, I chose vegan. I wanted it for myself. I wanted it for my daughter, who was just an infant at the time. And we've both done amazingly. I mean, my daughter is 30 now, and she works as a stunt performer. So no wimpy vegans around here.
That's right. So you are an incredible example of you are what you eat. Do you discuss your age?
I do. I'm 65 years old.
Wow.
And I never thought that 65 would look and feel like this. I mean, I'm very aware that I'm 65, and that's mature.
Right.
And yet I have a lot of energy. I don't have any health problems. I took up aerial yoga about 6 months ago.
What's aerial yoga? What
Aerial
is that?
yoga is amazing.
Oh my goodness.
It's where you have these fabrics hanging from the ceiling, and you do yoga type moves, but you're suspended by the fabric. So it's kind of a combination of yoga and some aerial circus moves.
Wow.
It's so much fun.
I don't know if I can do yoga just on the mat. And you're talking about aerial yoga? That's really cool. Tell me about the Good Karma diet.
The Good Karma diet is actually a follow-up to Main Street Vegan, my 2012 book, which really made me the Main Street Vegan and then started so many amazing things in my life, my podcast and Main Street Vegan Academy that trains vegan lifestyle coaches. But after that, so many people were saying, okay, we've got the basics, we're going to be vegan, we're moving toward vegan, or we are vegan, but how about the real secrets for really having vitality, for aging slowly, for feeling amazing? So the Good Karma diet is about upping the ante a bit with more greens and more color, more juices, more smoothies, more great big giant salads. I tell people I get my salad bowls at a restaurant supply house because nobody else makes them big enough.
Wow, you are on it. Is it ever too late to change your diet?
I don't think so. I was doing a book signing a couple of months ago in New Jersey, and a mother and daughter came up to me, and the daughter seemed to be about my age, and I thought she was going to say that she had changed her diet and was trying to get her mother to come along, when in fact the mother had gone vegan at 82
Oh my goodness.
and brought the daughter along. So no, I think it's the idea of wanting to do something, this whole idea of wanting to live a better life, be more compassionate to the animals, and help the planet, but also to give your body this incredible lift. I just think sometimes our cells are saying, oh, you've been putting all this stuff in me that I don't understand for so long, and today you quit. Thank you.
Wow, love it. Last thing, what advice would you give to people who want to change their diet, but maybe just need the extra push?
I love the way they do things in AA, which is a day at a time. So how about do it today? Be a high, raw, healthy, plant-based, colorful eating vegan today, and then you don't have to worry about your trip to Argentina next year or your sister's wedding in 6 months, because today is today, and today you can do it.
I love it. Thank you so much, Victoria.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
smile, too. You were just glowing. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Head over to mainstreetvegan.net to connect with Victoria.
I have a very special guest here with me today, Jewel Morris. She's a social entrepreneur, animal advocate, philanthropist, and so much more. I am so excited to have you here today, Jewel. So I met you back in 2010. We were at a wonderful celebration at Hotel Indigo in New York City. We were celebrating 100 pets adopted on LX New York as part of Maria's Pet Project and in partnership with the Mayor's Alliance. And you just struck me as someone who is really going to make social change for animals, and now you've become so iconic in the animal welfare movement, and I truly mean that. So I just wanted to know, what really drove you to devote your life to animals?
I think that everyone has something that inspires them to do animals. You know, of course, the love of them, a pet, a particular thing. But I had an experience that basically guilt.
Wow.
And it goes back, I really haven't shared this story because I'm embarrassed to share it. But
that's
so,
okay.
So get everybody out there to promise they're not going to share the secret, okay? Because it's embarrassing. But I was raised in Tennessee, and I also was a teacher, elementary school teacher in Tennessee. And I really, even as a child, I never understood what a shelter is.
Right.
I never knew. And I remember seeing those little cartoons when I was little, and all of the little animals would run onto the truck and they would be crying and everything because animal control was taking them to the shelter. And I thought, oh, why are they so scared? They're going to the shelter. It sounds so sweet and so inviting.
Right.
Now, the embarrassing part about this is when I'm in, I guess, my late 30s, there was a dog that came, and it was a real nuisance dog. I didn't want to let the dog go, but my ex-husband, back at the time, husband at the time, insisted that it go to the shelter.
Wow.
And I had no idea that all of these animals, the percentage of animals that die, just because there's no food, there aren't enough homes to go around.
Space is limited in the shelters as well.
Right. Yep. And after I understood how many animals are dying, and realized what I had done to that poor little Georgie, and allowed to happen and not standing up, then I said, you know what, this can't happen.
Wow.
I have to really do something so people understand what animals go through and how they die. A lot of them have really cruel, terrible deaths when they go in the shelter. Fortunately, our percentage rate, thanks to the Mayor's Alliance.
In New York City is so improved. It's 85% is the community-wide live release rate now in New York, but it wasn't that way 10 years ago. And so across the country, there's a lot of cities that haven't made those strides that New York has made for animals. So
back then, it was like 70% of all the animals went into shelters, never came out.
Wow, that's an astounding,
and that's because
rate.
of the Mayor's Alliance, of which you're affiliated.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
I know, it's so true that we all have to play a part in that solution and helping animals. So that leads me to the Pet Philanthropy Circle, which really, I love that you took such a sad story, but Georgie, actually, his life really mattered even more because you've turned it into something positive and helping thousands of other animals. So was he also inspiration for the Pet Philanthropy Circle, or?
Well, basically because I am in education and because I was a teacher, and I see so many friends, and everybody is like always coming to you with help this one dog, help that one dog.
Yes.
But as an educator, I kept like saying, you know, we've got to think through this problem. We will never solve the issues that we have of pet overpopulation if we don't really get into and teach areas like the South, where I came from.
Exactly.
If we don't get to them, then we will continue to have this tsunami of cats and dogs and all other pet animals because they reproduce at such a rate.
They do.
And people don't understand, oh, I love puppies, you know, spay and neuter, blah, blah, blah.
It's such a short period of time, a puppy, and then they become an adult, and it's a lifetime commitment. You could have a pet for 15 years if you're lucky. My pets sometimes live to be 17, and I'm still not ready to say goodbye. So I completely understand where you're coming from. You've really enlisted a lot of important people that work across all aspects of the pet industry and advocate for animals. So how do you select these incredible people? Like we have Mr. Berloni, who's the Broadway trainer for rescued animals. His dogs have starred in Annie and other shows. And so how do you meet these people and really get the mission across for Pet Philanthropy Circle?
Well, I guess anybody that I meet, you know, first of all, my first, you know, thing is, do you love animals? You know, what do you do? You know, I mean, it's like, that's my life, you know. And so I come across, and I'm fortunate enough to meet a lot of people.
I want to thank you for coming today and being my guest, and I can't wait to see what's next for Jewel Morris.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Stephanie, for having me.
You're welcome. Welcome back to Celebrity Catwalk. I'm Stephanie Matera, and you're probably wondering why I'm wearing this fabulous faux fur hat that is just over the top gorgeous. It's because I have the founder and CEO of Impostor here with me today. She is a game changer in the faux fur industry, according to Wayne Pacelli of the Humane Society of the United States, and I couldn't say I agree more. Welcome to the show, Jacqueline.
Thank you.
How are
you?
It's
so nice to be here. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Especially since we share so much in common as far as saving these guys.
I know, and it's great that we can show that the fur looks so real, so we don't have to, as you say, take a life, but rather be inspired by the beauty of animals. So tell me what made you want to create this line.
Well, it was actually really this moment in life where, you know, just an idea hits you. And, you know, it really all comes together. It was, start kind of from the beginning. So I was out shopping, and I was trying on a coat that had a big fake fur collar, at least what I thought was fake fur. But I wasn't sure. So I was looking for the label on the inside to know. And it really hit me. I'm like, if I'm this close and I can't tell the difference, then that's just great if this ends up being animal friendly. But the minute I walk down the street, I'm a walking advertisement for the fur industry. So I was like, gosh, I wish I could wear a sign or something that communicates from the outside that what I'm wearing is animal friendly. You know, or and it's something at the point of purchase. So so it's very clear, you know, when you're looking at products, you know, as to whether or not something is animal friendly. So having a background in advertising marketing kind of hit me. I'm like, well, if you could introduce a new symbol and create enough awareness on the street for what the symbol means, you could potentially turn the industry upside down.
Incredible.
You could give the customer everything she's wanted, you know, or he's wanted about the look and feel of fur, and an option that actually saves animals.
That's incredible.
So that's how it kind of all came about. So I was like, well, you know, we could introduce this new symbol. And I thought of, you know, I wanted a word that was very clear in terms of the meaning and what the brand represented. So I came up with the word impostor. The full name is Impostor, the number 4 animals. And the logo is a very geometric IM for impostor.
It's beautiful. You're wearing it on your dress.
You know, and I have it all over my, you know, the hats and everything that I wear. But really the important thing, at least the way I look at it, is, you know, that we can now all of a sudden we have a symbol that can give back to animals, you know, that is essentially a trademark on behalf of animals in nature, the way a celebrity would use their name or likeness to help sell a product.
You're speaking for the animals.
Exactly. You know, animals can't hold the trademark on, you know, for these types of things, but we certainly can on their behalf. So it occurred to me that we could use this new symbol and give animals a share of every dollar the fur industry loses. And the idea would be, hopefully, to completely replace the fur industry, to take down the fur industry, and replace it. And then animals will stand to gain from every product that is sold. So that's kind of how it all came about.
I know you're pretty heavily connected to the HSUS, and so you're also almost a spokeswoman for them in the sense that you do social media, and also tell us about what else you do.
Well, honestly, I just, you know, when I started doing this, I mean, I knew quite a lot about them to begin with, but I started researching all the different charities, because we work with a lot. You know, we work with you know, 15 different animal protection charities.
Love that.
But the HSUS is the Humane Society of the United States. Is the work they're doing is just incredible, and of course they have an anti-fur team, you know, and they're involved in, you know, they're involved in solving problems, like, you know, the root causes of these problems. So, you know, as I got to know them more and more, I kind of, just because I love what they do, you know, I kind of, you know, when I talk about them, I just, you know, I try to share with people, you know, what their campaigns are about, and then I ended up. You know, of course, my company is working very closely. Impostor is very close with them and working closely with the, you know, with the campaign. But I'm also personally a social media ambassador for the HSUS, and I'm on the Connecticut State Council for the Humane Society of the United States.
That is incredible. And I remember meeting you a few years back at the Take Action for Animals conference, and you were showcasing your line, and it was incredible. It was my first introduction to Impostor, and I was it's just breathtaking. It took my breath away that you can do something so good and yet really give people this socially conscious option. So why don't we talk a little bit about some of the products we have here?
I'll start with what we're wearing. So the very awesome, fun, soft, fluffy hat you're wearing is called our Mongolian hat.
Ooh, okay.
And the color that you're wearing is summer fox. The one that I'm wearing is our trapper hat. It's a style we've been doing for a long time, but this is actually the first year that we have either the summer fox or this is silver fox. And this was actually a style that Barney's had requested, and I was like, oh, this is going to be way too big, silver fox, because it's, you know, so long. But it ended up coming out, you know, and of course Barney's, you know, their buyer was right. It was so cute.
So visionary, and it reminds me of going on a European vacation, or, you know, going to Russia or Aspen, Colorado. I feel like you could just really glam it up.
These are both really statement items. So we have a bunch of other statement items. So we have, this is, as you can imagine from the shape, this is our Russian hat. You know,
Love
it's just
that.
You know, again, because it's something that's very traditional as far as fur. So we really wanted to do an animal-friendly impostor fur version you know, of a Russian hat. So we do it in the summer fox, which is the same colors you have on. And we also do it in the silver fox, which is similar to what I'm wearing, but it's just maybe not quite as crazy a style. So so silver fox and the Russian hat.
What I really like about those is when you move them, the fluidity of the fabric, it replicates the movement of real fur.
Absolutely. It's so light. You know, to be honest, this is the first year where faux fur, imposter fur of this length was even possible. The technology really hadn't been there yet.
Oh, wow.
So it was the one weakness that faux fur had up to now. We just couldn't replicate, you know, it was just, you know, it's very complicated, the process of, you know, how long the fibers need to be. So this is the first year we're introducing anything like this. So I'm thrilled. I've been waiting years and years and years to introduce something like this. So this is the Mongolian hat in the silver fox.
Beautiful.
Same style as the one you're wearing, just different color, obviously. And then this is, we have a bunch of different scarves that we do.
Beautiful.
This is the, you know, our long straight scarf, and then actually, you know, you basically can flip it through. I'll just throw it up.
Sure.
So you can flip it through, so it ends up being like this. And this one is really light. This, again, is the summer fox, like the one that you're wearing. And the movement, again, like this is the first time anything like this has been possible in an animal-friendly, you know, imposter fur version.
You're going to see the implications of that, because the more it replicates real fur, the more you'll be able to steer the consumers away from the real thing and have them go for imposter.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm absolutely thrilled because I knew this was a weakness, you know, so we focused on the shorter, like very soft qualities, but I wanted something that, you know, that had this longer, like, you know, very lush, because it's something that is so popular with real fur. So of course we want to try to do something that, you know, that can replace it, you know, in an animal-friendly version.
Well, we have chinchilla here too, and it makes me think of celebrities. I won't name the ones that wear real fur because we're going to give plugs for the ones that wear faux fur, but I know that you have a lot of celebrities that love imposter and they're wearing it.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, to have an idea and then have, you know, have all this celebrity support, you know, so quickly, and the support of these amazing stores. So yeah, the celebrities that we have quite a list. We'll go into it.
There's a long list.
It's incredible. But so Sarah Jessica Parker, she has, you know, she has a lot of our stuff. She has vests in like pretty much every color, and hats and scarves. You know, and Carrie Underwood, who obviously is a huge animal person.
Yes.
Sandra Bullock, you know, is a, you know, is a supporter. She has our stuff too, a whole bunch of different things. Jessica Chastain, who is a vegan, and she's just a huge animal person as well. So, but yeah, we have quite a list.
I think it's great because people really pay attention to what celebrities do, and with all the social media channels they're on and posting photos of their outfits, it's great to really say, wow, Sarah Jessica Parker, who's a fashion icon, is wearing faux fur. And it just gives it that much more panache, and people want to wear it.
Yeah, well, it gives it a lot of credibility, especially for these, you know, fashionistas that never just didn't realize that faux fur of this quality even existed.
Well, you are a beautiful soul. It meant so much to me to have you on our show today. I wish you continued success, that you can help as many animals as possible. And so if you want to learn more about Jacqueline Sharp and Impostor, you can visit impostor.nyc. Thank you so much for watching Celebrity Catwalk. I hope we inspired you to get super glamorous with your faux fur this season, and we'll catch you next time.